Welcome back. Now it's time to do what we do best. It's time to pick this week's NFL games. We'd like to welcome back to the show Dan Zons, who's here to make some picks.
Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. For reference, my record so far this season is 5-7, and Dan's stands at 3-3. So, Dan, without further ado, you ready to get into it?
Oh yeah, looking to improve on that 500 record. Probably should be like, I don't know, 8-0, but we don't keep track as well here, but it's all right.
All right, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Like
Let's
that.
start things off with a real ugly matchup on Thursday Night Football on Prime Video. It's Washington and the Chicago Bears, the Washington Commanders, rather.
Yeah, so this is going to be, you might not even want to have the TV on for this one. You might want to just go to literally any other show. I'm not going to lie. The Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders is going to suck. I'm sorry. But I think if you're a Bears fan, this is going to be great for you. I normally don't like to pick the rival in this, but I don't see Wentz and the Commanders coming out on top. They have Terry McLaurin on their team. And trust me, I know from experience, he's only gotten like 75 yards in these last 3 games. They are not utilizing their great players that they have. Even Brian Robinson came back, and he was only able to get 22 yards, and he looked pretty fresh from what I saw. They just couldn't get the ball to him. So, Bears all the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to disagree with you, and I don't think I can. As bad as Chicago has been this season, with Justin Fields showing some more struggles and that whole team just not being skilled enough to be competitive, they still look a lot better than the Commanders. I'm never going to get used to saying that name, by the way. Part of me still wants to call them the Washington Football Team, but I don't know. Carson Wentz is not that guy.
No.
We know that. Those uniforms are not it. Terry McLaurin does not have the freedom to stretch his legs the way he wants to in that offense. It's just, I know the Bears burned me last week, but I'm still picking them.
Honestly, the one thing I do like is that Bears defense is the only good, bright part of that team. But I think they're going to keep getting better. I don't think Justin Fields will be that guy, but that's just my opinion. We'll just have to see how he improves.
We'll have to see. Now we get into the Sunday games, Jets and Packers. And Dan, is this one a contest?
Honestly, with Zach Wilson playing as well as he has been, I honestly think that this is going to be a good game, especially after what we saw, the Packers against the Giants. Those two teams are, in my opinion, on the same caliber, because that Jets team is on and off. They're good, really good one time, and then bad other times. But to be fair, the times they were bad was with Joe Flacco. They have Zach Wilson this time. They have pretty good defense, pretty good offensive skill positions. I still think the Packers, I got to take the Packers, of course, but I think it'll be a good game.
I think so, too. I think that Zach Wilson has got that dog in him, but I think that if the Packers are going to wake up, this is the week that they do it. They're not going to lose to 2 subpar New York teams, or New Jersey teams, I should say, 2 weeks in a row, especially not at Lambeau. I'm taking the Packers.
Oh, especially at Lambeau.
Yeah. Now we get into another game that a couple of our viewers might like to be interested in. It'll be Vikings at the Dolphins. Dan, what's your pick?
I don't know. I still think the Dolphins will have a shot at this just because they're pretty good team still, even down 2 quarterbacks. They might have Teddy Bridgewater back, Teddy Two Gloves back for this one, but I still don't think that they're going to be enough for that Vikings team who, again, hate to root for a rival, but the Vikings, they're looking pretty good, 4-1. Can't say that again. Can't say that about the Packers, but still, I think it'll be a tough match. It won't be as bad as a blowout as I think the Commanders and Bears will be. But yeah, I still think the Vikings will have to win this one.
We know what I said on this show. Despite the fact that the Dolphins are on their 3rd string quarter, I don't even know who their 3rd string quarterback is, to be brutally honest with you. I don't know who's starting that game for them. But I made a pact and I'm sticking to it. Dolphins. That's all I have to say about it.
That's fair, honestly. The less the better.
Yeah, now we get into the best game, I think, at least for my money, for a lot of people's money.
Oh, yeah.
On the docket, Bills at Chiefs will be not America's game of the week, but the CBS equivalent of that.
Mm-hmm.
2 AFC powerhouses. Who you got, Dan?
I love the Bills in this one. They really just have been looking great, and even like I can't like pick apart this team and like find something that's really bad about them. I know they've had like some struggles offensively a little bit, like with the running game, and they're even looking at Christian McCaffrey. Like they put out a trade, like I don't think they put out an official offer, but they're looking for Christian McCaffrey because their running game isn't like that great. However, I still like the Bills in this one. The Chiefs. I don't know if you saw that game last night against the Raiders. The Chiefs. Their defense was not looking good, and that Raiders team is now 1-4 too. But yes, the Bills are gonna take this one, 100%.
That's tough because the Chiefs have had the Bills number, especially at Arrowhead, over the last 2-3 years. They've consistently been the two best teams in the AFC, but Josh Allen and company just has not had the oomph to get over that speed bump that is Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. But the Chiefs, I mean, it feels like we say this every year. Patrick Mahomes is playing hero ball. They're just not playing the way that they want to play.
Yeah.
And to me, I think this, even with the Bills and all their injury woes, I think this is the week that they get it done.
Oh yeah, times change, and the Mahomes still have Travis Kelce, but they don't have like that speed demon and Tyreek. They replace them with other kind of speed demons with like Valdez Scantling, former Packer, and I can't remember the other name, but they tried replacing him. They don't have that Tyreek Hill character that can go out there and get like a 50-yard bomb from Mahomes. They just don't have that kind of power anymore. So yeah, obviously got to go with Bills on this.
Got to. Now we move into Sunday Night Football, and it's an NFC East showdown where the Dallas Cowboys travel up to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Who you got?
Honestly, this might be my game of the week. I think that the Cowboys are in a position to be even. It's been crazy what they've done without Dak. It's been absolutely crazy. Cooper Rush might as well be the next Aaron Rodgers at this point. He's been able to lead that team, and that is a good built team. And I dissed Mike McCarthy so bad, but he's actually been running that team like the 2010 Packers. It's crazy. I think that the Eagles still come out on top with this, though. I like Jalen Hurts. I like that receiving core they have. The Eagles' defense is like surprisingly great this year. But yeah, just without Dak Prescott, I still think the Eagles have that slight edge on top of them.
Absolutely. I think that first of all, I want to reiterate, there we go, what you said about the Cowboys, because it's been unbelievable what they've been able to do since Dak Prescott went down early in the season. I think a lot of this has to do with Jerry Jones, the owner down there. I think he hears the sand running in the hourglass a little bit. He wants another Super Bowl ring, you know.
Yeah, it's been too long. It's been like 20 years.
Yeah, almost 30 now, I think.
Sheesh.
But still, I think that's really put pressure on him to build a winner, and I think he has. But I think that the Eagles are too real. I think they're too well built. I think that they're too on fire, and I think they come out with the win.
Oh yeah, easily. Not easily, but
hard fought.
Hard fought easily. Something like that.
And lastly, we close out the week with the Denver Broncos taking on AFC West rival the Los Angeles Chargers. Dan, who's your pick and why is it Los Angeles?
I took the Broncos last time, and they surprisingly got a win for me. I'm going to take them again. Shocking? Maybe. To Justin? Probably not. However, they're 1-4, I believe. But if there's one win that they're going to need to get, it's going to be this one before they start like, all right, maybe Nathaniel Hackett isn't the person. Not saying it should be the other Kubiak, but they might need to start looking at someone else out there. Because if they drop to 1-5, they're like, do they start tanking at this point? Is Russell Wilson is he putting on backup? Like, what's going on here now? So this is a must win for them. I see them coming on top, not by very much. Plus that Chargers team hasn't been sure, because they've had that many injuries and they just haven't had that many I don't know. They just don't seem that real to me yet. They could once we progress on the season, maybe they're that team. But I still think the Broncos will need to get this one. They'll have that fire going for this next one.
Well, we'll have to see. I think just as much as you wonder about the Chargers sometimes, even though Justin Herbert has had a lot of success, they haven't had as much success as everybody kind of feels like they've had, and it's always weird when you go back and you look and go, oh, they've only done this.
Yeah.
It's tough to do that, and I think this might be another one of those years for the Chargers, as the last 2 decades or so have been.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's no way. There is no way. There is no way that I'm picking the Broncos here.
Just have to see.
It'll be the Chargers. Well, thanks, Dan. It's been a lot of fun. We'll see how we did next week.
Of course.
Well, that closes the book on this episode of Blue Nation. I've done all the damage I can do here. To find more episodes of Blue Nation and other great TV10 content, visit us at mytv10.uwec.edu. For Dan, Jordan, and Justin, and all the rest of us here at the studio, I'm Noah Schwartz. Good night, everybody.